Detailed summary of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is a comprehensive guide on how to achieve, maintain, and wield power effectively. Drawing from historical examples and philosophical insights, Greene provides a detailed analysis of power dynamics and offers strategies for navigating the complexities of human interactions. This summary delves deeply into each of the 48 laws, providing a nuanced understanding of their application and implications. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Never outshine your superiors. It is crucial to ensure that those above you always feel superior. In your quest for power, always make your superiors appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Make your accomplishments seem less impressive and praise their intelligence and achievements. This prevents them from feeling insecure and helps you gain their favor. For example, Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France, threw an extravagant party in honor of his king, Louis XIV. Instead of impressing the king, the display of wealth and power led to Fouquet's downfall, as it made the king feel overshadowed and insecure. By making the master look better, you will rise to power without creating enemies above you. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends are more likely to betray you, as they are prone to envy. Instead, recruit former enemies who have more to prove. Enemies expect nothing and have much to gain by siding with you. This law emphasizes the importance of keeping a healthy distance in friendships while remaining vigilant and strategic. During the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Basil II, he relied heavily on the loyal services of his enemy-turned-general, Bardas Skleros. Skleros had more to prove and was instrumental in Basil's military successes. This example highlights that enemies, when won over, can become the most loyal and reliable allies. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Always keep your intentions obscure. By hiding your real goals, people will be less likely to predict your moves. This creates a veil of mystery and unpredictability, making it harder for opponents to thwart your plans. Distract others with red herrings and decoys to mislead them. In the early 20th century, during the Mexican Revolution, Pancho Villa used deception to great effect. He would spread false information about his intended movements, confusing his enemies and allowing him to attack where they least expected. By concealing his true intentions, Villa maintained the upper hand in numerous battles. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control you seem. Powerful individuals impress and intimidate by saying less. When you are silent, people are uncertain and afraid, filling the silence with their interpretations. This grants you the power to control the narrative and maintain an air of mystery. For instance, in the court of King Louis XIV, the king was known for his brevity. His words were powerful because they were rare and carefully chosen, creating an aura of authority and control. This law teaches the value of silence in maintaining power and influence. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. A strong reputation increases your presence and influence, while a tarnished one can lead to downfall. Guard your reputation fiercely and use it to intimidate and win. Understand that others will try to undermine it. Therefore, be prepared to counteract any attacks promptly and effectively. Julius Caesar understood the importance of reputation. His image as a military genius and a just leader helped him consolidate power in Rome. Even when rivals sought to undermine him, his well-cultivated reputation protected him and attracted loyal supporters. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Stand out and make yourself a magnet of attention. Be conspicuous and flamboyant to ensure that you are never ignored. This will increase your power and influence. Publicity, whether positive or negative, increases your presence and creates an aura of importance around you. P.T. Barnum, the famous showman, mastered this law. He understood that attracting attention was key to his success, and often used outrageous stunts and publicity to keep the public intrigued and engaged, ensuring that he was always in the spotlight. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the skills, talents, and efforts of others to achieve your goals while ensuring that you receive the credit. This allows you to accomplish great things with minimal effort and maximizes your influence and reputation. Recognize the contributions of others, but frame them in a way that highlights your leadership and vision. Thomas Edison is often credited with the invention of the light bulb, but much of the work was done by his team of researchers. Edison's ability to leverage the work of others while taking the credit cemented his legacy as a prolific inventor. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force others to act, you remain in control. Lure opponents into your territory, where you hold the advantage. By making others come to you, you can dictate the terms of the engagement and control the outcome. During the American Civil War, General Ulysses S. Grant would often fortify his position and force Confederate forces to attack him. This strategy allowed him to fight on his terms and contributed to his numerous victories. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Arguments rarely change minds and often incite resistance. Instead, demonstrate your point through actions. People are more likely to believe what they see than what they hear. By showing rather than telling, you can influence others more effectively and avoid unnecessary conflict. In the Italian Renaissance, architect Filippo Brunelleschi proved his ideas by constructing a self-supporting dome for the Florence Cathedral, a feat many deemed impossible. His actions silenced critics and showcased his innovative genius. Law 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotional states are contagious. Avoid those who bring misfortune and negativity, as they can drag you down. Surround yourself with positive, successful individuals who can elevate your status and provide valuable support. In the court of Louis XIV, courtiers who brought bad news or were associated with misfortune often found themselves ostracized. The king preferred to be surrounded by those who radiated success and positivity, reinforcing his own image of prosperity and control. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, ensure that others rely on you. The more people depend on you, the more freedom you have to pursue your goals. Make yourself indispensable by providing something that no one else can offer. J.P. Morgan, the influential banker, ensured that his clients depended on his financial acumen and connections. This dependence allowed him to wield significant power in the banking industry and beyond. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move can disarm even the most suspicious individuals. Use selective honesty and generosity to lower defenses and create a false sense of trust. Once trust is established, you can manipulate and control more easily. Al Capone, the infamous gangster, would often donate to charities and help the poor in his community. These acts of generosity helped him gain public favor and created a facade of benevolence, masking his criminal activities. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People are more likely to assist you if they see something in it for themselves. Frame your requests in a way that benefits them, appealing to their self-interest rather than expecting mercy or gratitude. During World War II, Winston Churchill appealed to the United States for assistance by highlighting the mutual benefits of defeating the Axis powers. This strategic appeal to self-interest helped secure critical support for the Allied forces. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Gather information and intelligence by posing as a friend. By acting friendly and approachable, you can extract valuable information without raising suspicion. This allows you to stay ahead of your rivals and manipulate situations to your advantage. During the Cold War, many spies posed as friends or allies to gather intelligence. This tactic of deception and infiltration provided crucial information that shaped geopolitical strategies and outcomes. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Do not leave any room for revenge or retaliation. Annihilate your enemies completely to prevent them from rising against you in the future. Total domination ensures that your power remains unchallenged. Now, Julius Caesar's defeat of Pompey during the Roman Civil War was decisive and total. By ensuring that Pompey and his supporters could not regroup and challenge him, Caesar secured his position as the uncontested ruler of Rome. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much presence can make you appear common and accessible. By creating scarcity through strategic absence, you increase your value and the respect others have for you. Make people yearn for your presence by making it rare. Famed actress Greta Garbo retired at the peak of her career, creating an air of mystery and increasing her allure. Her strategic withdrawal from the public eye enhanced her legendary status and kept the public fascinated by her. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictability makes you vulnerable. By being unpredictable, you keep others on edge and force them to react to you. This creates a psychological advantage, as people will constantly second-guess your next move. In his military campaigns, Napoleon Bonaparte often used unpredictability to his advantage. His unexpected tactics and strategies confounded his enemies, allowing him to win battles that seemed unwinnable. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Isolation makes you an easy target. Stay connected to the outside world to gather information and form alliances. By remaining engaged, you protect yourself from threats and increase your influence. During the Renaissance, the Medici family of Florence avoided isolation by fostering connections with other powerful families and influential figures. This network of alliances helped them maintain power and protect against rivals. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not everyone reacts to manipulation in the same way. Be cautious and discerning in your dealings to avoid offending powerful or vengeful individuals. Missteps can lead to lifelong enemies who seek your downfall. During the court of Louis XIV, knowing who to trust and who to avoid was crucial. Courtiers who misjudged their rivals or offended the wrong person often found themselves exiled or worse. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. By remaining uncommitted, you retain your independence and the ability to pivot as needed. Do not become entangled in alliances or loyalties that restrict your freedom of action. Keep others guessing and vying for your favor. Queen Elizabeth I of England mastered the art of non-commitment. By refusing to marry and align herself with any single faction, she maintained control over her court and kept various factions competing for her favor. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Make your targets feel smarter and more confident than they are. By appearing less intelligent, you can manipulate them more easily and lower their defenses. This allows you to gain the upper hand without them realizing it. Benjamin Franklin often used this tactic in negotiations. By downplaying his intelligence and acting humble, he disarmed his opponents and secured favorable agreements without raising suspicion. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. A. When you are weaker, surrender strategically to buy time and resources. Use the appearance of submission to regroup and prepare for a comeback. This tactic can turn a temporary defeat into a long-term advantage. During World War II, the French resistance used strategic retreats and surrenders to survive and regroup. This allowed them to gather intelligence and resources, ultimately contributing to the Allied victory. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Focus your resources and efforts on a single, decisive objective. Spreading yourself too thin dilutes your power and effectiveness. Concentrating your forces allows you to achieve a significant impact and secure victory. Alexander the Great concentrated his forces in decisive battles, such as the Battle of Gaugamela, to achieve overwhelming victories. His focused strategy enabled him to conquer vast territories and secure his legacy. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Master the art of the courtier to navigate complex social dynamics and power structures. Flatter, defer, and charm those in power while subtly advancing your own agenda. This delicate balance ensures that you gain influence without making enemies. In the court of Louis XIV, courtiers who mastered the art of flattery and subtle manipulation rose to prominence. Their ability to navigate court politics and maintain favor with the king ensured their continued influence and power. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not conform to societal expectations. Forge a unique identity that commands attention and respect. Constantly reinvent yourself to stay relevant and intriguing. By controlling your image, you shape how others perceive you. David Bowie, the legendary musician, constantly reinvented his image and musical style. This adaptability kept him at the forefront of the music industry and maintained his status as an influential and iconic figure. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Avoid being directly associated with unpleasant or controversial actions. Delegate dirty work to others and maintain a clean, respectable image. This protects your reputation and allows you to maneuver without backlash. The Medici family often employed agents to carry out their more controversial actions, ensuring that their public image remained untarnished. This strategy allowed them to maintain power while avoiding direct association with any negative actions. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Tap into people's desire for meaning and belief. Create a compelling vision or cause that inspires devotion and loyalty. Cultivate a sense of community and purpose to build a dedicated following that will support and protect you. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, created a cult-like following by tapping into people's desire for innovation and excellence. His vision for Apple products inspired a dedicated fan base that remains loyal to the brand. Law 28. Interaction with boldness. Timidity is dangerous. When you commit to action, do so with confidence and boldness. Bold actions inspire respect and can intimidate opponents. Hesitation, on the other hand, reveals weakness and invites attack. Julius Caesar's bold crossing of the Rubicon River was a decisive action that marked the beginning of the Roman Civil War. His audacious move demonstrated his resolve and ultimately led to his rise as the dictator of Rome. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Anticipate all possible outcomes and plan for contingencies. By thinking ahead, you can avoid pitfalls and stay in control of the situation. A well-thought-out plan reduces the likelihood of unexpected setbacks. Hannibal, the Carthaginian general, meticulously planned his campaigns against Rome. His strategic foresight allowed him to achieve significant victories, such as the Battle of Cannae, despite being outnumbered. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Always present your achievements as the result of effortless talent. By downplaying the effort involved, you create an aura of natural ability and superiority. This enhances your reputation and makes you seem more powerful. Leonardo da Vinci's masterpieces, such as the Mona Lisa, appear effortless in their perfection. This perception of effortless genius contributed to his legendary status as a polymath and artist. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Present people with a limited set of choices, all of which benefit you. By controlling the options, you guide their decision-making and ensure that the outcome aligns with your goals. This strategy allows you to maintain control without coercion. Henry Kissinger, as U.S. Secretary of State, often presented foreign leaders with limited options in negotiations. This tactic ensured that whatever choice they made, it would align with U.S. interests and strengthen his negotiating position. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. People prefer the comforting lies of fantasy over the harsh truths of reality. By appealing to their fantasies, you can gain their support and manipulate their actions. Create a compelling vision that distracts from the unpleasant realities. Walt Disney created an empire by tapping into people's desire for fantasy and escapism. Disneyland and Disney movies provided an idealized world that captivated audiences and generated immense loyalty to the Disney brand. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness or vulnerability. Identify these and use them to your advantage. By exploiting your target's weaknesses, you can manipulate their actions and decisions to benefit yourself. During the Watergate scandal, investigators discovered the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of key figures involved. By exploiting these, they were able to gather crucial information and ultimately bring down the Nixon administration. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Carry yourself with dignity and confidence. Project an image of royalty and superiority, and others will treat you accordingly. By acting like a king, you command respect and authority. Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia, conducted himself with regal dignity and confidence. His bearing and presence commanded respect both at home and abroad, solidifying his status as a powerful and influential leader. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Timing is everything. Recognize the opportune moment to act and seize it. Avoid rushing or delaying unnecessarily. By mastering timing, you can maximize your impact and achieve your goals more effectively. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, is known for his impeccable timing in the stock market. His ability to buy and sell at the right moments has contributed to his immense wealth and success. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. What you cannot have, disdain. By showing contempt for what you cannot attain, you diminish its value and significance. This helps you maintain your focus and prevent envy from consuming you. Mahatma Gandhi displayed disdain for British colonial power by advocating for nonviolent resistance. His rejection of the British system and his focus on Indian self-reliance inspired a movement that ultimately led to India's independence. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Dazzle people with grand displays and spectacles. These distract and captivate, preventing them from seeing your true intentions. By creating compelling spectacles, you can control the narrative and maintain power. The Nuremberg rallies organized by Adolf Hitler were grand spectacles designed to captivate and control the masses. These events created an aura of power and unity, bolstering support for the Nazi regime. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Conceal your true beliefs and opinions. Conform outwardly to societal norms while maintaining your individual thoughts privately. This prevents backlash and allows you to maneuver without raising suspicion. Galileo Galilei, the renowned astronomer, publicly recanted his support for the heliocentric model to avoid persecution by the Catholic Church. Privately, he continued his scientific work and correspondence, preserving his intellectual integrity. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Create chaos and confusion to disrupt your opponents. By stirring up trouble, you can manipulate the situation to your advantage. This tactic forces your opponents to react impulsively, making them vulnerable to your strategies. Mao Zedong used this tactic during the Chinese Civil War. By creating internal conflicts within the nationalist forces, he weakened their cohesion and gained the upper hand in the struggle for control of China. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing is truly free. By accepting free gifts, you become indebted to the giver. Instead, pay your way to maintain independence and avoid hidden obligations. This strategy preserves your autonomy and integrity. Andrew Carnegie, the industrialist, often insisted on paying his own way, even in social situations. This approach allowed him to maintain his independence and avoid becoming beholden to others. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Do not follow directly in the footsteps of a great predecessor. Create your own path and legacy to avoid being overshadowed. By distinguishing yourself, you gain recognition and respect in your own right. Alexander the Great avoided being seen as merely following in the footsteps of his father, King Philip II of Macedon. By embarking on his own ambitious conquests, he established a legacy that surpassed his father's achievements. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Identify and neutralize the key figure causing trouble or resistance. By removing the leader, you destabilize their followers and dissolve their power base. This strategy is effective in breaking up opposition and consolidating control. During the Roman Republic, Julius Caesar targeted and eliminated the key leaders of his opposition, such as Pompey. This tactic weakened their forces and solidified his own power. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Win people's loyalty and support by appealing to their emotions and desires. Create a sense of belonging and purpose to foster devotion. By working on hearts and minds, you build a loyal base that will support and protect you. Nelson Mandela won the hearts and minds of South Africans by advocating for reconciliation and unity. His ability to inspire and connect with people on an emotional level helped him lead the country through a peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Imitate your opponents to disarm and frustrate them. By reflecting their actions and behavior, you create confusion and uncertainty. This tactic makes it difficult for them to predict your moves and respond effectively. During World War II, the Allies used deceptive tactics such as the creation of fake military installations to mirror and confuse German intelligence. This misdirection helped them gain strategic advantages in key battles. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Advocate for change, but implement it gradually. Sudden, radical changes can create resistance and backlash. By introducing reforms incrementally, you allow people to adapt and accept new ideas without feeling threatened. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal introduced significant social and economic reforms in the United States. However, he implemented these changes gradually, ensuring that the public could adjust and support the initiatives over time. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Perfection can arouse envy and hostility. Displaying vulnerability and flaws makes you more relatable and less threatening. By appearing more human, you can gain trust and avoid becoming a target of resentment. John F. Kennedy, despite his privileged background and political success, often highlighted his personal struggles and vulnerabilities. This approach made him more relatable and garnered widespread public support. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Knowing when to stop is crucial. Pushing too far can lead to a reversal of fortune. Recognize when you have achieved your goal and avoid overreaching, which can provoke backlash and diminish your gains. Napoleon Bonaparte's decision to invade Russia was a fatal overreach. Despite his numerous victories, the disastrous campaign led to his downfall and the eventual collapse of his empire. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Be adaptable and flexible. By remaining formless, you can respond to changing circumstances and avoid being pinned down. This adaptability allows you to maneuver effectively and maintain control in unpredictable situations. Bruce Lee, the martial artist, emphasized the importance of adaptability in combat. His philosophy of being like water, able to flow and adapt to any situation, exemplified the principle of formlessness. Author's style and perspective. Robert Greene writes in an authoritative, scholarly style reminiscent of classical works on power and leadership, such as Machiavelli's The Prince and Sun Tzu's The Art of War. His writing is accessible yet authoritative, filled with historical examples, philosophical insights, and practical advice. Greene's background in classical studies is evident throughout the book, as he draws on a wide range of historical and cultural sources to illustrate his points. Greene's perspective is unapologetically pragmatic and sometimes amoral. He explores the darker aspects of human nature and power dynamics, providing readers with tools to navigate and manipulate complex social interactions. While some of his advice may be controversial, it offers valuable insights into the nature of power and influence. The book has garnered a diverse readership, including politicians, entrepreneurs, and celebrities, reflecting its broad appeal and practical relevance.